Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video. You know, we talk about iconic cars, and when people see a car, they know exactly what it is. 60s vintage Corvette, 57 Chevy, T-Birds. And then you talk about sports cars. Everybody knows a 911's a 911. And if you could drive in the 80s, this car here debuted as probably one of the greatest styles, configurations, and superpowers to ever grace the scene. You talk about performance too. You're talking about almost 400 horsepower in 1989. And in this particular example here, the black paint is just absolutely mirror finish. I kind of like to show everybody up front. This is under fluorescent lights. It's really nice. Check that out right there. Like, look how crystal clear that is, man. That is unbelievable. And, you know, when you're buying these high-end cars like this, keep in mind, during the 80s, these cars were hand painted. The interiors, all done by hand. Matter of fact, one person stretched out the leather to find the Connolly leather on top of it. And on top of it, those cows are actually grown in a particular area, meaning no barbed wire. They're fed a special diet, so that you get what we call just a supreme hide that nobody else offered. And one guy would go through and I watched, the only reason I know all this is because I watched the Ultimate Factories the other night, and it had the Ferrari factory in there, and they're building the 599, and they talked about the automation then, but obviously they didn't have as much back then in the late 80s, but these cars were so hand-built, and they're quite expensive for their time too. You know, with the original sticker of $161,000 in 1989, that's like, I'm guessing, but somewhere in the $300,000 range today. These were very expensive. And if you were a kid and you loved posters, man, you had this poster with a girl on the front in a bikini, and it was badass. So anyway, I get excited about these cars. This one in particular, because this one is so original. I mean, it's really had no modifications at all, down to the Goodyear Eagle GSC tires on it. You know, these tires were ahead of their time. Nobody really come out with a tire rated at this high a speed. And they built them for like the Corvette and things like this. This one has an original set of GSCs on it. You know, this car's only been driven 700 miles a year. So you talk about low mileage on a car, it's just really low. But as we walk around the car, you'll see the black and tan just looks so good. You know, I love a red and tan Ferrari, but it's very in your face. This car is in your face to begin with and doesn't always need to be in red. Here it's a subtle, you know, what we maybe call a velvet hammer, right? Big four-wheel disc brakes. And let's look at some storage and some things like that. Let's walk around for a second. Awesome styling in here. The handles inside here. Beautiful chrome latches inside with the Ferrari, the prancing horse, and just little stuff like that. All right, let's check out this here. I know this sounds silly that we're going to check out the trunk a little bit. It's the detail stuff, like carpeted here, but then it's also trimmed around here, and the Velcro's still there. I believe this is even leather welting. So you got your toolkits here, okay, with an extra belt if you needed it. If you got stuck on the side of the road, it comes with a belt, which is really nice. Other tools in here, okay. All factory stuff, okay, and then you also have your owner's manual right here, which is really nice also. All that, all nice and put together, of course, wrapped in leather, okay? And the way you close these is because this part here is so light, just close them like that. Great styling though, huh? This car is so good looking, even inside the package shelf. The window is rounded like this, and everything inside the car is covered in leather. But we'll get to that in a minute. All right, come check this out. Now look at this right here. People call me all the time and say, man, you love cars, don't you? You love cars. I can tell when you do the video. Well, you're right, because look at this, man. Can you imagine being behind this car? Forget the fact that we're talking, we're in 2011 right now, and this car is still beautifully styled. But can you imagine what it was like in 1980s when this car came out? 12 cylinders, almost 400 horsepower, which was unheard of in a street car. All right, now this is where the car shines even more. This is the part that a lot of people don't show you. So let's look around for a second. Like for instance, this is how you know stuff's been taken care of. The cadmium plating is still on the latches, right? The factory exhaust is still there with a date code on it. Original stickers are still in place. Over here is the AGIP sticker. I don't know if this is really as much for performance as it is for styling, but look at this monster. This is 5 liters of Boxer 12 power, and what they mean by Boxers is a flat 12. So by making it a flat 12, they can lower this even farther down inside the car. And this has what's called a dry sump oil system. A lot of our Ferrari guys will know this, but if you're first kind of getting into this, The reason it's a dry sump oil system is they take the big oil pan out of the bottom of the car and they convert that into a tank on the side of the car, as most cars have gone to that are high performance, so that they can make the bottom of the engine flat and that oil pan doesn't hang down. So if we were to look underneath this car right now, which is what we should do, is because these are 180 mile an hour cars. You do not want a lot of turbulence under the car because that lifts the car up and makes the car unstable at high speeds. This thing is rock solid at high speeds, and although it's great looking, a lot of what's designed into this car has to do with the functionality and stability of it, okay? So all your original stickers are still here. Engine compartment's beautifully detailed. This is a car you could actually drive and drive to a show if you wanted to. All right, let's take a peek underneath for a second. Check that out. Look how flat this car is underneath. You see what I mean? There's less things to get caught up in there. Suspension parts are all buried. The differential is buried. The oil pan has been eliminated, the tank's put there. The exhaust system is tucked up in the body. And that's just to keep it so it's nice and stable and keep the turbulence out for a minute. So we've talked about the outside, we've talked a little bit about the performance and things like that. Even little stuff like the gas cap has made it this awesome like billet piece. It's just the final touches. But how about we move inside the car, and you'll see, because once you get inside, it takes you to another level that's even, maybe even nicer than the outside. Okay, this is just fabulous. Now, I'll tell you one nice thing about cars like this is that, you know, I'm 6'1", and just look at the amount of room that's in here. Plenty of room. I got plenty of room for here. And on top of it, the style in here is just great. Got a nice center console with your climate control, heating and air conditioning. Little things like the ventilation system is right here. Just nice touches. It lights up inside here to show you how much airflow is coming through, which direction that you have. This is kind of cool too. The stereo is hidden in here, although it's an AM/FM cassette. This is the original unit that came in the car circa 1989. What we do for a lot of people is we actually hide an AM/FM CD player. With satellite and all the other good stuff, the iPod that you like, so that you can get some modern music without having to change all that. So that's kind of a nice touch too. This is kind of cool. That's the glove box. It's electric. Mirror opens up. Typically, you're riding with somebody that would love to see the mirror, but it's just really a cool piece, and this folds down too. But everything in here is leather. The dash is covered in leather. The pillars are covered in leather. The headliner's got this cool console here with this aircraft style light that moves around. Just really, I mean, back here is beautiful. They even sell fitted luggage that fits here and fits in the front too. The speakers are back here. Just an awesome, awesome piece. And then they probably figured that there's, this car could probably perform pretty well, because you're looking at a 200 mile an hour speedometer and a 10,000 RPM tach. Full gauges, of course, from oil pressure to water to oil temperature, fuel gauge, and of course the fabulous gated shifter, which makes that beautiful click, snick, 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 snick as you roll through the gears. This makes an awesome sound, awesome feeling. How about we start the Luscious? And not many engines could be called Luscious, but that flat 12 back there could be called Luscious. So let's start. Anyway, it's kind of a cold morning. Just wanted to see the, just, I don't know, man. This is a cool car. Big fat pipes, 4 of them, 12. Awesome. What we have here is, I don't know, an incredible amount of style, performance, value. The car's been fully serviced. It's ready to go. It's ready for someone to enjoy. And you're talking about a car that's driven about 700 miles a year. So as far as the world of spectacular, well-kept automobiles, I can only hope to survive life looking like this car, because this is one spectacular piece. Anyway, if you can find a way to get this in your life, try to, because it's a lot of fun. Anyway, call us 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about it.